guess.
Okay, we're ready.
Where we're going?
We're going.
All right. Just finished up YCS Indianapolis. By just finished up, I mean it's been like maybe 2 hours now, honestly. But you know.
Yeah, you know, but who even cares, you know?
Yeah. Made it to day 2. Finished at 84th X3 with Fire King Snake Eye. First YCS. More or less happy with it. Some silly games in there, but this format is, you know, it exists. I'm having a time. Our cards today, I'll just go over the deck nice and simple. I didn't do anything particularly spicy, so I just want to talk about it. Let's start. This is a Snake Eye deck first and foremost, unfortunately. We have our Snake Eye package. We have 3 Snake Eye Ash, 2 Poplar, 1 Oak and 1 Flamberge, and then 1 Snake Eye Diabell Star for combo.
Nice.
Minimum you can do. You technically don't need this in this deck for Fire King, but I think this card is way too good not to. It justifies playing Temple like so much for other than just shifter decks. So, comes up, does a lot. I guess also part of this is, you know, the aforementioned Temple and then the original, one of each.
Groovy.
Can't do more.
I was gonna say probably in this deck you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy as that. I normaled Oak and Poplar way more than I would have liked this event. I think I don't know. I'm just a master of drawing one-ofs, what can I say? I did 1 for 1 for Flamberge a few times, which was nice.
Great combo.
I guess that's a spoiler. Next, we have our small little Diabell Star package. We have 2 Witch and 3 Wanted. Realistically, this could be 3 Witch. Witch is a worse combo for this deck than Ash. It's also like you're kind of struggling for space because of the Fire King stuff. I'm on 2, partially because I only own 2, but even if I owned a 3rd, I think that the starter that's dead on your shifter in a format with 10-5 playing shifter is probably the one worth going down on copies of.
That's very fair.
We've got our Rotos.
Yo.
3 Bonfire, 1 for 1. I drew this card so often, and this card was like a game winner. Like, this card is ridiculous. It should stay at 1.
Yeah, no, didn't it was this plus Flamberge that helped you win your second to last game, kind
of? Yeah, my round 10.
Yeah.
Card definitely just won me the game on the spot off the top. I love life.
So good.
Yeah, you can summon the whole deck with it. It's so nice. Bonfire is fire. Fire King engine. This is where I had to start getting sad. We've got, you know, 1, 1, 1, 2.
No.
Saying this. All engine requirements, nothing extra. I used to play 3 Kieran. I love 3 Kieran. I main decked the Skyburn when Summon Limit was in the game. Can't do it anymore. I love this card. You really just can't play 3 right now. This is my favorite part of the deck. These cards are the game winners. The Snake Eye cards were not doing nearly as much work as these. They just get you there.
No, I get that.
When we get that new level 4 for Fire King, I'm so back. Because these are the good cards. I'm so for real. Sanctuary you have to play. Need it to beat Nib on the Diabell Star combo. Sounds weird, but it's true.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to play the deck. So.
Yeah, I got you. We've got our I hate hand traps requirement.
Yay!
1 called by and 3 cross out. These cards were both ridiculous. I played against a lot of the mirror, or not the mirror. I played against a lot of the Snake Eye mirror, but I never played against Fire King. Yeah. I played against like 7 Snake Eye players. They were all playing pure, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why Fire King just feels so much better. Yeah, it's the one that I struggle with.
The engine is better, but you get less non-engine, so it's like when Fire King doesn't go off, it feels way worse.
Okay.
It's like the idea, but you know, these cards were great. I've crossed out a lot of Snake Eye cards and crossed out a lot of hand traps. I didn't see it as often as I might have wanted to, but it was so good. Called by is insane. I'm really happy I chose to main deck this instead of sided. Helps with side patterns, going seconds against some decks you just don't really want to have it in. It's not impactful enough. It gives me a nice free spot for like 1-ups or whatever. But also just like, dude, this card's so good.
It's so good.
I crossed out Snake Eye cards twice, and it doesn't matter because as long as I get to the Fire King part of the deck, I don't care if Ash or Flamberge is negated for my turn.
Oh yeah.
It like feels like a downside, but once you play it, it's like you have so many ways to play around that downside that it ends up being pretty good. I'd do it again.
Heck yeah.
And we've got our non-engine lineup. We have 2 Ogre, 1 Nib, 2 Veiler, 1 Mourner. 3 Infinite Impermanence, and 3 Ash Blossom. The Mourner and the Nibiru are for cross-out purposes. But realistically, I like both Mourner and Veiler, and I actually might have preferred if I was on 2 Mourner and only 1 Veiler, just because I felt like I ended up under Shifter a lot.
No, that's fair, but I mean,
I only fought Tenpai twice, but they drew Shifter like they drew Shifter every game post-side, and I was like, yeah, real. I played against Exo Sister round 9. They drew Shifter. Such is life. It's how it is.
It's true.
This card is good. It's not. Like, obviously, you resolve this against Snake Eye, and you're, like, sitting pretty for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
I do kind of wish I could play a 5th hand trap here, but you really just don't have space. I'm playing 42. Going above that feels hard. It's like I could cut the call bind, maybe, and go to 41, go to play 44 with an extra set of hand traps. The deck's bricky enough as bricky in air quotes, but, like, the deck does need to see its starters. There's not really any 2-card combos. You just see a starter and an extender, or you don't.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can go any higher. The hand trap lineup felt good. I actually liked Ogre a lot. This card was completely worthless. I think I resolved it once and I did win that game, but every time I never wanted to side in the extra copies of this card, even though I thought I might.
Yeah.
Actually, like, this card's so bad. But it is something that is worth playing. We'll go into the side first here, just to round it out. We have the 3rd Ogre and the 2nd and 3rd Nibiru for hand trap stuff. It's the only other hand traps I'm playing. These cards, the 3rd Ogre came in some, the other Nibs came in like, they came in against Exo Sister and they came in against Scarecrow. So, like... Yeah,
that's fair.
Not like shining examples of meta gameplay, right? But they did come in. They're good for rogues, so it was probably worth playing them. I didn't see any rogue, really. Then we have our 1 of Skyburn. Swap it out for Sanctuary, going 2nd. It's just better to have the option to search a Floodgate remover if you get, like, stuck in Fire King stuff.
Yeah.
Or if they're playing stuff like, I don't know. It's just a nice removal spell. It's, like, usually better to go Island, but a lot of the time you can't really get Island to resolve going 2nd in a way that matters anyway. So sometimes it's better to just play mostly Snake Eye and then use your 1 Fire King card as just a spot removal before you commit to more stuff. It doesn't feel good. I only did it once. I honestly don't think I needed to play this. I was just kind of worried about, like, running into that type of deck where it's like, okay, I'm gonna play against, like, stun, right? It's like I wanted outs. I wanted engine outs to back row.
I think just a searchable MST is good.
Yeah, well, MST in air quotes. I have to destroy one of my own.
That's fair.
We've got our spell lineup here. We have 3 Cosmic Cyclone and 3 Forbidden Droplet.
This card is crazy.
And 1 Feather Duster.
Very nice.
This was the 15th card in the side. It's why I said, like, it could have been called by in the side, but this card actually was really good. I like this a lot. It's like maybe I could have cut it, and I don't know. I don't really think I would cut it. It's so nice. Like, maybe Storms over these, but it's the same reason as before. I wanted spot removal versus potential, like, a lot of Runic stun.
Yeah.
And I wanted spot removal going first against the Tenpai Field spell, was the idea. Because if they don't activate, I can't rely on Ogre, and Ogre during the battle phase doesn't usually do enough. It's still something I kept in for Tenpai because it was worth having, but yeah, this card was good. This card was mostly for Voiceless and Branded. This is outside of Called By, this is my only out to the Puppet Lock in this deck. I fought 0 Branded. I kind of expected to fight 1 or 2, but because of that, I don't think I literally ever sided this card in. It didn't do anything for me, but I literally didn't play the matchups where I wanted it. So it was like, whatever. I played against 1 Voiceless, and I impermed Diviner, and they passed game 2. So it was like, there wasn't much to say about it. I'd probably keep this card. I think they could have been Bestials maybe, but I wouldn't have played Bestials wouldn't have come up either. Yeah, so it's kind of a weird slot because I need a going 2nd answer to stuff like Puppet or like the Jalgan and Branded Voiceless, but never happened. So
that's good.
I was just trying to be safe. I wanted to make it to day 2 was the main goal here, so I wasn't building specifically for Snake Eye. Power 1 of Kurikara comes in over Called By against pretty much everything going 2nd. I never ended up searching it.
Yeah.
I never had hands that were like super engine heavy in a good way that let me get to this and then break a board. It's unfortunate, it's how it is, but I do like the card. I like having it because Pearly's in the format. This against Pearly is just game winner.
Yeah.
Because they go like, okay, Noir, draw 2, and you go, all right, I won. Normal Ash effect, oh, resolves, cool, good gameplay, nice. I'd keep this. Strong. Then we have our last 3 cards. I played 3 D Barrier. This was a mistake. This should have been skill drain.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, but you said like you didn't like it in the Fire King version.
It's one of the things where it was literally just like I let like personal thing get ahead of me. Where it's like I just really like setting up the Fire King loop and making an inboard, and you can't realistically establish a Fire King inboard and play skill drain. It's not worth it a lot of the time. It's almost better to just make next to nothing and pass, and then play for follow-up, right? Because most decks in the format can't play under skill drain. You make like very minimal inboard that doesn't really function under it, but it like works, right?
Yeah.
You can do like Whale Princess, whatever, if you want. But I was like, I want to be able to make a fuller inboard if I get the chance. And then D Barrier is not as wide as Skill Drain. Like this doesn't do anything to Snake Eye. But I was just thinking that since it stops Tenpai for a turn, since it stops other things for longer, I think it can be like really strong. But at the end of the day, Skill Drain would have been correct. I didn't lose. I lost to Snake Eye once. It was not the fault of my of getting like hand trapped to death. Skill Drain's better because if I get hand trapped to death and set Skill Drain, I can win, and because I can stall until they find it out, or I find a way to out it and keep playing. But this lasts 1 turn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just Ash sends Skill Drain for cost.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's like I don't know. This card was fine. I should have played Skill Drain realistically. The extra deck. Very stock standard. We got our engine / combo requirements. 1 anima, you need the Link 1.
Nice.
Doolittle Sunlight Wolf in combination allow you to beat Nibiru on pretty much any line.
Yeah.
You need both, unfortunately. This isn't required if you don't want to do some lines, but it's the only way to beat Nib from Diabell Star as a 1 card, so I like keeping it in.
That's fair.
You need it for the line. You need to revive it off Arvada.
I know that you mentioned to me earlier that this was part of an inboard piece at one point.
Oh yeah. In a grind game against Scareclaw this morning, we got to a game state where I had 2 bodies, no way to make a Dark Charmer.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah, I had no way to make a Dark Charmer, and I couldn't climb any further because I'd already used Hida. So I was like, I need this Garunix to go to the graveyard somehow, and I was like, all right, Doolittle Chimera, you're up. It wasn't like a deal, like a game ender, but it was nice.
Okay. That's awesome.
Then we got our 2 Promethean. You need 2 in order to do a specific line that involves leaving Flambirds on field, and then leaving it until you get to Arvada as your monster negate.
Nice.
You usually use that against decks where Apollosa isn't super impactful. Stuff like Runic variants, stuff like even honestly Tenpai, but I never got to go full combo against Tenpai today. So I never did the line that needs 2. However, just summoning the second one raw out of my extra came up like every round almost. Every round that went past a first turn, I summoned the second. So I think it's still worth playing, even if you're not like 100% confident in that fact. In doing the Arvada line. IPSP.
Busted combo.
I've got nothing to say. Good card.
The Colon P twins, I guess.
Yeah, the Colon P twins, Amblo Whale. Still play it. Fire King, great card.
Of course.
2 disruptions done right. Strong card, love it. Saves my life, the best.
So good.
Apollosa.
Great card.
Great card.
That's nothing to say.
Stops Nib, does its best. Love the card. It's basically a floodgate. Might get banned. Probably shouldn't, but you know.
Yeah.
It's whatever. The OTKers. Solantis Raging Phoenix.
I think one. Oh no. Okay, I thought my phone just shut.
Oh no.
Sorry.
It just the screen turned off. Okay. Yeah. OTKers. They do what they do. Not much else to say.
That's fair.
Turning like 3 to 4 bodies into an OTK is pretty nice. 2 Charmers, Dark Hida, have to play both, required. You could try and get by with just Hida, but summoning Dark comes up way too often.
How many times did you at any point in the tournament do the Hida steal Ash, or was it just Link Climb?
Yeah, I stole a lot of things with Hida this event.
Okay.
I stole a lot of Ash Blossoms, but No, I was playing the mirror a lot, so I
Yeah.
stole a lot of cards.
Nice.
I stole a Flamber's that had already resolved its graveyard effect once, so
Yeah.
that I could scale my own Snake Eyes via Bellstar and then extend via that.
Ooh.
I stole an Oak once just to revive, right? I stole a Promethean once because, like, dude.
Yeah, no.
Because they're like, yeah, what are you? I hadn't used Poplar that turn, so it's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Pop it? Go ahead.
Pop the poplar.
Yeah, and then we've got, that's all our stuff that I think is like required.
Mhm.
2 flex spots here, which is both for 10 pi. We have Underregardless of Close World and Fucho.
We're-
Fucho for 10 pi.
Yeah.
Good, great,
course.
exceptional, etc.
Mhm.
You make it, they basically can't kill you for a turn. If you know you have follow-up, then this is the way to do it.
That's fair.
However, under Shifter,
Mm-hmm.
if you get the chance, the standard IP Divine Temple Oak setup
Mm-hmm.
does allow you to make this off of your opponent's tuner it into main.
Oh, real. Well,
Which,
does
it's not the end of the world, but game states do come up more often than you think, where you can get like a simplified inboard because they hand trap you. They don't have many cards in hand. Maybe you have a hand trap or two, and it's enough to just take their tuner and say, okay, I'll Ash the Song and Kaiman, and they probably can't play.
yeah.
And that's what happened. That's how I won my game. That's how I won a game against Tenpai this tournament. It was literally the only game I won against Tenpai because
Yeah.
Lord knows I did not draw well enough against them.
That's fair.
I wish I could say more. This card was great.
Oh, yeah. So,
You live an extra turn. I used it to live an extra turn. Didn't draw an out to the rest of the hand traps he had, but I did live the extra turn.
Okay.
It did its job.
it did its job. That's all
I
you
have
can
no
ask for.
problems with it.
Nice.
That's that.
Alrighty then.
Fire King Snake Eye. Love this deck. I'm not gonna play it again until now.
That is very fair. It's time for bad decks, cheesy decks, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. Got any shout outs before we wrap this up?
Shout outs to Josh Levine for letting me borrow his food show.
Of course, you can find his deck profile over on the Better channel. I'll probably put a link in the description.
Yeah, yeah. And also shout outs to David for letting me trade for this Apo. Made my inboards look rather shiny. You get like Apo IP, and then it's like, well, don't mind the rare and blue whale. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, no. Rare and Blue Whale has character though.
Other shout outs, all the TNLG guys. Super great.
Very great.
That's about it. I had a good time.
Awesome.
First YCS, pretty good. I'd like to top the next one I go to. That's the goal.
That's the goal. All right. Thank you for doing this, I guess.